But the fact that Ryan, has gone through 3 top trainers that would have done a great job, Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derrick James.
Correct.
And he's not training with neither of them. He's training with his dad.
Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, Joe Goosen, I know Joe Goosen. My brother used to train with him. He's not going to just let you get away with stuff like that. Derrick James shouldn't either. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's going to be under my rules. Mm-hmm. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's I give that big advantage to Barrios to even pull that off.
See, that's the thing about boxing, and Big Baby Miller pointed it out, because there's no structure. We need some kind of structure. In the NFL, the guy has to sit there for the media interview. He shows up on time. Yep. He's got to do it. Yep. And to give you an NFL analogy, think about the Broncos, right? When they had Russell Wilson over there and he had his own office and everything. And it was nothing. It was dysfunctional. Then they hired Sean Payton.
Cut it out.
As a coach, that's like going to train with Goosen or going to train with a world-class trainer, right? And you knew as soon as Sean Payton got there, ain't no one's going to have their own office. And you turn around a couple years later, and they're great. They're in the playoffs, right? That's the thing in boxing. When fighters want it comfortable, right? Sometimes when Miguel Cotto would want to train in certain places because it was more comfortable for him, I thought, I want to see the Miguel Cotto when it's uncomfortable, right? And Cotto's a great fighter, of course, and a serious person. But the fighter really has a little too much control when they reach a certain level sometimes of their own career, which is good in one way, but in another way can limit them athletically. But because boxing is not a comfort.
Max Kellerman analyzes the upcoming Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios fight, emphasizing that while Garcia possesses immense raw talent, it alone won't secure victory. He stresses that to overcome Barrios, Garcia must combine his natural ability with discipline, a structured approach, and consistent, focused training.
Boxing is not a comfort business.
But do you think it's more of his opponent, where maybe I can get away with training with my dad, compared to if I'm fighting a top dude?
It'd be a big mistake to underestimate.
Right? And it's like everyone thought he was going to win that fight, and Broly just outboxed him. Broly outboxed him and looked good doing it. And then so it's like, it's crazy. I wish that Ryan, because he's so talented, I wish he would stick to a coach and really just follow the instructions.
Ryan will win this fight. He gonna win it.
Max Kellerman and Robert Garcia commend Ryan's impressive skills but caution that instability in his training could limit his growth against Barrios' relentless dedication. Meanwhile, both fighters are exchanging warnings and psychological jabs as the fight approaches.
As everybody says, left hand, make sure that's up, you gotta protect it, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what I would imagine he's saying. And gotta take that away. It's probably, other little things like that. They drill a lot of just keeping the hands up all day long. So it's like here, 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 here. But, this freestyle type of boxing, with technique is gonna overwhelm this man.
It was a great experience. He's definitely one of a kind. I took a lot from that fight, just being in there with somebody with his timing, his skill, his speed. Yeah, just we're gonna use that, to in every way, to grow as a fighter.
Your opponent on the 21st, Garcia, hadn't actually won a fight officially since 2023. He's been through a lot of controversies, the scandal with Haney, and then the loss against Rolly Romero. What do you make of all that?
I don't make much of I have somebody who's trying to take my title, and I'm looking just to go out there and defend.
So you're looking to put on a big performance stylistically. What you're going to come with?
Stylistically, I think this is going to be very.
Mario Barrios pledges to capitalize on every weakness he spotted in Ryan Garcia's style, showing unwavering determination to defend his belt with relentless precision.
And
However, Ryan Garcia insists he remains unaffected by his trainer's departure, staying fully focused on his preparation for Mario Barrios.
It's better for you that he's working with a trainer you're familiar with than...
Oh, yeah, in my eyes. But hey, because I know I've already said some stuff that that guy's already told him. But again, like he said, boxing's one-on-one. At the end of the day, he's a free thinker. I'm a free thinker.
Ryan said, Joe's not going to stop this fight. It's going to be a physical fight, a bloody fight. You're smiling when you're hearing that. Is that the kind of fight you want?
Not necessarily that it's the fight I want, but it's never a fight that I shy away from. Gone out of my shield before. Like I said, every time I step in there, I give it, whatever I have that day. And if that's the way like this fight goes, if it ends in a bloody battle, then it does. And I've never shied away from that.
I respect that. I honestly do. I do see that in him. He definitely gives everything he got in that ring. And it's dope.
Ryan Garcia's training camp in Los Angeles comes alive with sights and sounds of intense workouts, precise combinations, focused drills, and disciplined preparation, highlighting the seriousness of his fight readiness.
Lock the top 3. Lock the top 3. Lock the top 3, 2.
Ryan Garcia delivers powerful strikes to the punching bag during a high-intensity training session, showcasing his strength and precision. Mario Barrios maintains a fully defensive stance, determined to prevent Ryan Garcia from taking his belt and fiercely protecting his championship pride.
And I'm looking just to go out there and defend.
So you look to put on a big performance, stylistically, what's going to come with?
Garcia, he's explosive, he's dangerous, and but I think on a boxing level, there's no like competing with us. I think I'm the better fighter.
You just said you're the better fighter. Who's going to put more on the line with your title or his credibility?
I'm looking to defend.
Wade Plemons discusses the southpaw stance, highlighting how it alters a fighter's approach in the ring, and praises Ryan Garcia's analytical side, the version of him that meticulously studies opponents before major fights. He notes that Ryan has been observing fighters like Keith Thurman and Abel Ramos to prepare for Mario Barrios, both of whom previously gave him challenging bouts. Wade considers how Garcia's freestyle boxing style might adapt lessons from those tough fights to handle Barrios, who is recognized as one of the most dangerous finishers in boxing.
Both tough nights for Mario Barrios, but I'm interested to see what Ryan takes away from those fights. What can Ryan and his style, that kind of freestyle boxing he says he does, what can he implement from either of those guys to beat Barrios?
One of the best finishers in boxing. Like, I know you didn't finish Devin Haney, but you had him drown.
I saved him. I should have knocked him. I just didn't have the condition.
I think it still bothers you, huh?
Yes, because I should have knocked him out in that 11th, man. I was playing around too much. And I was like, ha ha. Like, bro. But next time, that next time, buddy.
There we go again.
You won't have a next time. I'm finishing you. You will never box again if we fight again, and you know that. And I have vowed to that. If we fight again, you will never box again. I promise you that.
Gee, this is what I'm saying, bro. We need this fight. I've said it so many times.
Ryan reflects on his previous fight with Devin Haney, admitting that although he had Haney drop during the match, he failed to finish him due to conditioning issues. He regrets not securing a knockout in the 11th round, acknowledging that he held back and played around too much, and insists that next time he will be fully focused when someone is against him. Wade Plemons responds intensely, warning that if they face off again, Ryan could be finished and might never box again. He emphasizes the significance of the matchup, calling it potentially the biggest fight in America. Both recognize the high stakes, leaving fans in anticipation as the fight draws near, just 9 days away.
And someone's against him, when people think he'll lose, when it's a different challenge to him, even though the Rolly fight was a huge challenge. It was a world title shot, right? But you think back through Ryan's career and the fights where he performs better. Oscar Duarte fight, he thought Oscar De La Hoya and all of Golden Boy was against him. Obviously the Devin Haney fight, no one thought he'd win. The Luke Campbell fight, you know, Luke was an Olympian, so that was a big deal as well. The Gervonta Davis fight, he just lost. I mean, yes, the weight cut, whatever, but Ryan lost. But the mentality of Ryan, that's the thing that's so all over the place from time to time that you just don't know what Ryan you're going to get. I don't know what Ryan we're going to get in the Mario Barrios fight. He's saying all the right stuff. He's trained hard, right? He's acting like this is the one, but mentally isn't, right? Because he kind of said the right stuff. He was a little quieter last time with the Rolly fight, but he said the right stuff, and it's hard to know, dude. It is, because another thing you worry about, I keep looking at this picture of Ryan, and I'm seeing
Mario Barrios speaks about Ryan Garcia with respect, praising his speed, power, and confidence. He acknowledges Garcia's unusual recent period in the ring, noting both the lackluster loss to Roy Romero and the spectacular victory over Devin Haney. Barrios also highlights the distractions surrounding Ryan, including the testing controversy that may have impacted him mentally. Despite these highs and lows, Barrios expresses that he ultimately wishes Ryan well.
At Ryan as an opponent, obviously I'll put respect on the speed, the power, the confidence, and all that, but it's been a weird stretch for him in the ring, to be fair. The lifeless loss to Rolly Romero, the spectacular victory over Devin Haney, but obviously the drug test, everything that went on around that mentally, and certainly at the end of the day, we wish Ryan well. How do you sort of gauge where he's at as a fighter entering this fight?
It's hard to say, really, where exactly, he's at, but, I just had to prepare as if, I have a focused Ryan in front of me, as they're saying. And yeah, everything else kind of just is just background noise, But to look at Ryan's, at his best performances, when he has looked extraordinary.
When asked about Ryan Garcia's current form, Mario Barrios admits it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where he stands as a fighter. He explains that his preparation is focused on facing Ryan at his absolute best, treating training and strategy as if the strongest, most extraordinary version of Ryan will show up. Barrios considers all other factors, controversies, media narratives, and distractions, as mere background noise that won't affect his preparation. He stresses that he's ready to face Ryan in the ring, no matter which version appears. If Ryan is at his peak, Barrios will rise to the challenge. If Ryan performs below his best, it will be on him to respond. His approach is professional, disciplined, and entirely centered on strategy, skill, and the fight itself.
Of a kind, he's a character to be around. But no, the move to go be with Joe was gonna happen. Whether this fight with Ryan was made or not. I was definitely, just after the podcast fight, looking at, what steps I wanted to make, moving forward, to just, continue to just grow as a fighter, to just continue to just, work on, I guess, yeah, just to work on myself and, get back to some of the things that has, that got me this far in the first place. Earlier in my career, I was definitely a lot more aggressive. I had a much higher punch output, and so my team sat down and were like, why not change the scenery?
Tim Bradley breaks down Ryan Garcia's strategy against Mario Barrios, emphasizing timing and precision. He explains that Ryan aims to exploit Barrios' movement by flicking his jab and carefully timing his opponent as he drops or changes levels. Bradley highlights a particular punch known as the 45, a hybrid of a hook and uppercut famously used by Oscar De La Hoya. which Ryan has studied and incorporated into his arsenal. Bradley considers this punch a dangerous weapon that Barrios will need to be cautious of throughout the fight.
Because Barrios is a counterpuncher and he likes to stay, again, close to mid-range to outside, mid-range to outside. So he's like, a step or two, I wouldn't say a step, right in mid-range when he's firing shots. And so sometimes he'll throw those single jabs at mid-range, and he can be countered with the right hand. But we all know that Ryan Garcia, hopefully his right hand is back, operating. If his right hand is operating, he should have a field day, taking advantage of that, mid-range jab coming from Barrios. And he does it a lot, man. He really does. A lot of stuff that he does, he has good form and technique on it, Barrios. But it's just subtle mistakes that he makes. Like just stand near the pocket after he gets done working so guys can attack him after he gets.
Tim Bradley also points out Mario Barrios' vulnerabilities. Over his career, he has struggled with body shots, which can sap his stamina and affect performance. While a strong right-hand puncher, Barrios is susceptible to clean right hands and left hooks. As a counterpuncher, he tends to operate at mid-range to outside mid-range, often stepping in to fire single jabs. Though effective, these jabs create openings that Ryan Garcia could exploit, particularly if his right hand is fully operational. Bradley emphasizes that Ryan's timing, speed, and precision make him a significant threat in this matchup. While Barrios' technique and form are solid, subtle lapses in positioning or defense could allow Ryan to dominate. Ultimately, Bradley frames this fight as a battle of timing, skill, and strategy, with Ryan's refined techniques posing a serious challenge to Barrios.
He swells quickly, man. Yeah, he gets damaged really easily. You touch him, he starts to bruise up immediately, starts to swell up immediately. So I think Ryan having those heavy hands, I think that can be an issue in the fight as well. Those eyes will start swelling, that nose will start swelling up. I've seen, eyes and nose swell up on Barrios, man, and he looked like, real bad, the Elephant Man, after fight. So I think that's something that we got to take into consideration as well. I think, again, let's go back to the trainer. I think it's going to favor Barrios, the fact that he knows that his trainer knows Garcia. It is going to favor him. He's going to know, the approach, on how to get to Ryan Garcia. He's seen him in spot.
Chris Algieri highlights what Ryan Garcia contributes to boxing, focusing on his popularity and star power. Unlike George Kambosos, who relied on hard work and perseverance but was never a natural star, Ryan captures attention with his charisma, physical gifts, and flashy style, making him must-watch television. Algieri points out that Ryan has yet to secure a world championship, making direct comparisons to Kambosos challenging, since George earned his big wins through grit, notably his victory over Teofimo Lopez. While Ryan's path in boxing is propelled by talent and fame, Algieri questions whether he will achieve a career-defining victory comparable to Kambosos. Nonetheless, Ryan's immense popularity ensures he continues to receive opportunities and remains a major draw in the sport.
Mentioned it from the onset about being a star. Kambosos was never a star. Kambosos was never that popular. Not the way that Ryan Garcia is. So Ryan's here because of that. And yes, he does have some physical gifts and a ton of physical talent, and physical gifts that make him, must-watch TV when he's on. But we haven't seen him on in a long time. And, he hasn't gotten to that position. It's hard to compare him with George because George was the opposite. George was just a hard worker. George always came in shape. But in terms of talent, he was lacking. He got that big win off of heart and grit, and man, did he cash out on that win, because he made so much money after those fights, got himself into so many opportunities that he never would have gotten if he had lost to Teofimo Lopez and became undisputed. Ryan is still yet to be world champion. These guys are almost like literally polar opposites of each other.
Robert Garcia stresses that while trainers can provide guidance, a fighter's ultimate success hinges on their own commitment. He explains that no matter how skilled a trainer is, if the fighter doesn't listen, respond, or put in the necessary work, adjustments in training alone won't make a difference. Garcia notes that highly successful fighters like Ryan Garcia often end up as the decision-makers in their own camps, surrounded by trainers and staff who may act as yes-men. This dynamic can make it challenging to improve technique or maintain discipline. He emphasizes that even the best trainer cannot overcome this if the fighter isn't willing to follow direction. Garcia draws a parallel to Todd Marinovich, the talented Southern California quarterback whose career was derailed by personal and external pressures. The takeaway is clear: a fighter's world, including family, friends, and personal life, plays a critical role in their performance.
Look, every trainer is going to do his best to try to correct that and try to get Ryan to do it, but at the end, it's going to be Ryan himself. You know, it's his things going on in his world, his family, his friends, himself with all those, you know, personal problems. At the end, there's nothing a trainer could do if the fighter doesn't respond, if the fighter doesn't listen, if the fighter doesn't do it. And most of the times, when fighters are that big, like Ryan is, they're the bosses. They call the shots, and the trainers, everybody around them are just the yes men, and that's a problem. That's a problem, and we can't fix that with nobody. You could be the best trainer in the world, but if you got a boss, you know, as a fighter, then and you're a yes man, there's nothing you could do. Ain't nobody gonna fix.
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.